Okay, next up, we have Joseph Yyolk, owner of UOVO LLC. He's going to talk about Issue.Cash, which is an XRPL developer service that mimics market orders from the Mainnet to the Testnet and the Devnet.
Hey everybody, just a quick clarification. My name is Joseph Yyolk, and I'm going to be presenting Issue.Cash today. So, give you some context around Issue.Cash. The first thing that got me started in investigating this was when Casino Coin transitioned back to the XRPL. I liked what I saw from the CSC team. They were what I thought they're doing things right. They had a black hole account. I think big props to Daniel and the team for that. But what was interesting to me was like, yes, we have a new token. I eagerly opened some offers on XRP Toolkit, and through that process, I had some rogue account creating partial payments and hitting my orders. And I already knew about auto bridging and currency conversion, but I figured I'd try to give it a shot with partial pay. So using some communities' raw JSON, and with some, I sent my first partial payment. So that brings us up in the timeline to the first RippleX dev stream. We had the Ripple wallet demo from David showing off pathfinding, which was absolutely probably the coolest feature, I think, of the XRPL. In our second stream, we had Elliot give a pretty robust overview of like the Ripple lib, and he had a deck, and we went through an entire process of issuing, I think it was Toothcoin, and you could see in my message that it's so easy to issue coins. Why aren't more people doing this? It's a native object on the ledger. It's not some implemented protocol. So I took some notes. I started this in the Elliot's XRPL ideas discussion. So as a developer myself, we want to do test paths and auto bridging. So the paths are what you use for partial payments. And my thinking was simple. You just generate some basically noise or data and create them on both sides of the order. Rotate the orders every 24 hours or an hour, just something so people could have it and not have to spin it up themselves. There was more demand. A developer opened an issue on XRPL Pi, basically asking for this feature. The XRPL Pi is my jam these days. I really like that lib. But there's a nice feature where in XRPL wallet module, you can get a faucet account. And they were suggesting, why don't we have a BTC USD faucet, a year faucet, ETH faucet? Well, even though this discussion was well received, it was given a lot of helpful info, this is not something that really belongs in the library. So I figured I'd give it a shot. I also want this, let's try it. So wrapping it all together, I think through some like off-the-cuff comments from Elliot and David in potentially RippleX dev stream and David on, I think, Thinking Crypto podcast, just take the book offers from the mainnet, replicate them in the testnet. Since we're dealing with trust lines, we'll want to have a specific faucet for whatever currency we're dealing with. So, and at the end of that, we'll have intrinsic network effects if more than one developer uses the same IOU. So we're going to go to the demo. The Issue.Cash just redirects to Issue.Cash for now. So on the left, we have the Issue.Cash website. This form currently isn't working, but the idea would be you just enter in your wallet, you get some cash. We're going to be dealing with USD and XRP today, but I'll show you through this demo here. There's definitely room for adding JPY, Japanese yen, and euro. So on the right, we have the Testnet Explorer just showing live blocks. I've already kicked off a basically our DAG for this, but I'll get to that in a second. So going through this really basic code here, we're going to talk about how I'm grabbing the book. Essentially, it's just a transaction. There's actually a method for calling it. So I'm grabbing all the offers for USD, JPY, Euro from Bitstamp and GateHub. I'm combining those so that we have more offers on one side. So USD will collapse itself, Euro, JPY, etc. Then I saw that, so doing this from end to end, I was doing one transaction at a time. So the process is this. We take a wallet, we generate a faucet wallet, we determine that will be an issuer, we set the right account set flags, then we use that issuer wallet to then create, to issue cash in our, what will be called our distinct our distinct offer creators that we take from the mainnet. So we're basically collapsing all addresses from the mainnet and creating offers from that. So the way I've broken this down, I decided to use step functions. I'm a big Lambda user, big fan of serverless. We broke this down in a few steps. So first and foremost, let's look at the DAG. And the reason we want to use this DAG, start the execution, is that we want to take advantage of this mapping here. So if I wanted to, I could just spin up, I think it's going to be 800 offers. I could spin up a workflow for each of those offers where they can order, they generate a faucet wallet, they generate orders from the state that they're getting, and then they create those offers. But because of the way I'm doing this, where a single account is issuing to these accounts, I'm pretty much limited to 10 at a time. So we're doing max concurrency of 10 year, and in a few seconds, you'll start seeing a lot more dots on the right. So now we've gotten into here. We're taking our step input, which is essentially what we grabbed from the book and then determined this will be a distinct. I'm passing the seed directly. This is testnet. I really don't care about secrets. And then this specific step, the index of 0, they have a few offers. So what it'll be doing, it'll create offers on, if it's just USD to XRP, it'll start creating these. So you'll start seeing these over here. I'm gonna bring up Sologenic here. We're gonna watch the order book fill once I get the issuer account. Oh, you see some Toho Lab stuff going on here. Here we go. So let me get this issuer here. Of course. So if you're not familiar how issuers work, there's an account that is saying, I'll give you dollars. So we'll go to testnet. Just skip this, create a new wallet. I don't want to do that, so we'll just do secret key. We'll go to the XRPL faucet. Generate testnet. Grab this secret. And then we're going to add the pair that is our new issuer. So we'll go down to here, other, paste that. Did I not get the full address here? Am I on the testnet? There we go, USD. And then we'll do counter of XRP because right now I'm just grabbing USD and XRP. So as orders are generated, we'll see these numbers move. But essentially what this has accomplished is we're creating markets on demand. So anytime we want to have a pair to anything, So we can change this to USD to Euro. We'll collapse all those together, and then we have something to do on the DEX as a testnet. So since I have XRP, I don't have this currency. I'll just go ahead and trade XRP for that. So I'm going to go ahead and sell some. Let's switch the sides here. I'm going to sell some XRP. Let's do 25%. I'm going to get some USD in return. And because I did a limit order, oh, it was filled. Nope. Let's do a market order. So we just grab some. There we go. And because I couldn't offer, I didn't set that trust line, by the way. We'll go to our wallet. You can see I have some dollars. Eventually, what we're going to get here is just a command. You can do a command line. We'll have a form. And I keep saying we, it's just me. I don't know why I talk like that, but essentially, this is the project we're building here. This is all going to be open source. Anybody can contribute. And what I really like to see is basically having, I really want to see more people use the DEX, and I think this will happily fulfill some needs that is lacking in the dev on the testnet. And anybody could do this themselves. It's just a lot of work beforehand if you just want to try doing what are essentially what I think are the great features of the XRPL, auto bridging and currency conversion. So I guess that's it. Let's go back to the slides. If you have any feedback, please feel free to reach out to me on Twitter or talk to me after the session. The GitHub is Issue.Cash/Issue.Cash. And you can go to that code repo today. You can take the CDK stack that I wrote and play with it if you want, deploy it yourself if you want. But I really want to sort of enforce this idea of network effects. If we have more developers using, like, essentially a single issuer, and every time we recreate the markets, they can continue to use their old USD or whatever coin that they have. But it will facilitate more stuff with the DEX. Thank you.